Today we got this Toro CCR3650 that I found in the trash, and we're gonna see if we can get this running today. So this is a Toro CCR3650. It's a two-stroke 141cc R-Tek engine. These are really solid snowblowers. The paddle on it still looks pretty good. It's a little dirty. It is missing the back cover here, and it's a little grimy. It has been sitting outside, so I can't say much about that. Looks like somebody tried to probably do some work to the carburetor here because the back cover's off and that hose clamp is slid down there. So I'm sure there's some issues there, but other than that, oh, it's got electric start too, which is nice. It does have compression when I try to pull it over. Primer bulb seems all right. It's got the key even. The chute looks all right. First thing I want to do is open up this cover, check the belt situation in there, and then we'll start digging into all the other stuff. Oh, looks like it's still in pretty good shape. We pull on the lever. Let's see if it tightens good. Yeah, it's not too bad. There's a little bit of grinding on this pulley here, but nothing too concerning. This all looks like it's in good shape still. Still about belt grooves. It's a little worn, but it'll function. The next thing I want to check is spark. So let's get in here and get these bolts off. Oh, sorry, I just knocked it. That was fairly loose. Now look at this plug. Plug doesn't look too bad. This is one of those E3 plugs. I'm not the biggest fan of these, but a lot of people use them. They're okay. And that plug is soaking wet. Pull the engine over a few times to clear out. All right. Let's see if we have spark. Yeah, looks like we got spark. All right, now that we got full access to the bottom end here, we're going to take this hose line off, which I don't think there's any fuel in there, which is a good thing. I believe this is a 6.5 horsepower Briggs & Stratton engine, and one of the worst carburetors they've ever made is this plastic carburetor here. You can tell it was probably leaking. It's just a really awful carburetor. Everything about it is just plastic. Get those two screws off. So we've got our primer line here. Primer line still feels kind of flexible. Got our turn spring. Finally, our throttle linkage. There we go. This thing is beyond gross. Let's get this over to the bench and get it opened up and see what's inside. Another bad thing about this plastic carburetor is you can strip things out easily because everything just bolts into the plastic here. So I'm just gonna get these bolts out. Oh, that fuel just smells lovely. Oh, if you didn't know, they used a cork float in this. Let's get this float off. Yeah. It's got a little Viton tip here. You see that? It's not going to focus, is it? No. Let's get all these jets out. Start by getting this little idle jet out. Came out really easily. See through it? No. The main. I think it's the main. Oh, no. This is the emulsion tube. A little bit of crumb on it. Can't see through it. Then we're going to get this seat out. Pretty decent too. I guess the next logical step is to put this thing in the ultrasonic and get it cleaned up. All right, we got our carb body in there. Our bowl. Sink. And then our jets. All right. See you guys in 20 minutes. Got everything back out of the ultrasonic and everything cleaned up. Perfect. There is not a speck of dirt or grime on these things. All right, let's take a look at our jets here. And it's always good to... This is a wire tip cleaning set. And I like these because if you look at the end here, I guess you can't really see it. But it's kind of like ribbed. And that helps break up anything that's in these. So just take a wire, kind of run it through all of the holes. Just to make sure that, I mean, if you're using the ultrasonic works great, but sometimes it doesn't get everything. And this is going to make sure that all of the passages are clear. Now, if you're doing it by hand, you'd be doing this anyways. And the wrong way to go about cleaning a carburetor is just spraying it with carb clean and hoping for the best. Even though I've done that quite a few times. It doesn't always end up the greatest. All right. So we got all of that together. Our gasket back on here. Gasket doesn't look too bad. It's still pretty pliable. And the thing is, a lot of people will see that their carburetor's leaking and just crank down on either the bowl nut or the screws. If your carburetor is leaking out of the sides, it's not because your bowl's not on tight enough. The fuel level should never get up to that height. It's going to be an issue with your needle and seat at that point. All right, I think we're good to go. It's time to put this back on the machine. All right, we're on there nice and tight. Let's hook up our primer line. Primer line is on, fuel line. Go on. That fuel filter looks fine. Okay, got all that back together. Pull this key. Let's get this top cover back on and see if we have any fire on this thing. All right, gonna put in some fresh 2-stroke oil mix. This is 80-1. I know it sounds crazy, but the AMSOIL 2-cycle engine oil that I use says you can use it 100-1 and it's good for all mix ratios. And I've been running it in my machines for a very long time, and I've never had an issue. It says you can mix it 100-1, but I mix it 80-1, a little bit heavier on the oil, but so far no issues. All right, that's filled up. That didn't take much at all. This does call for 50-1 though. See if this electric start works. Sounds like the Bendix isn't catching. Well, the starter works, but the Bendix isn't catching. We got to be getting fuel. I know we got spark. Well, it popped off there. A little scarily. I don't know if our return spring is actually working all that great. So I don't know if that's wide open or fully closed. Let's see. Is this the whole reason it was thrown to the curb? Yeah, the throttle's sticking. It doesn't want to return. You can see in here, here's the throttle spring. Focus. Focus. See, this is supposed to be closed, and when it pulls itself open to give it some throttle, it just sticks. Oh, is it freeing up? Come on. I think we might have just freed it up. Why don't you want to pull fuel? So I found my mistake with this carburetor. When I was putting it back together, there is a washer that I put under the needle and seat when it was supposed to go under the emulsion tube. Swap that around. It does run, but it's profusely leaking fuel from the needle and seat. I had picked up this snowblower. I had already put a carburetor on order. This is the carb kit here. Oh. And it came with some carb cleaning brushes, a new fuel hose, new gaskets, a new spark plug. I probably won't use this because these China plugs aren't that great. A new primer bulb. Another new primer bulb. Another spark plug. The actual carburetor. A couple hose clamps, and a fuel filter. So I will swap the fuel filter out with this one. The reason I went with this one is because this is a solid metal construction. It's not plastic. Yeah, it's an aftermarket carburetor. This is a lot easier to service because this float bowl isn't plastic. It's just this nut here on the bottom, which I have come to find out a lot of these nuts on the bottom are loose. So if you do get an aftermarket carburetor, make sure you just tighten this down a little bit. Make sure it doesn't leak. So we're gonna get this carburetor off, get this one on, and see if we're in business. I think we are ready to try this. We shouldn't need any adjustments here. Throttle seems to work fine. Let's see if she leaks. All right, let's see if this thing pops off. Gonna give it a little bit of choke. We got a runner. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It goes a long way with helping the channel. If you like this kind of content, I got a whole bunch more right here. I come out with content every single week. So until next time, I'll see you guys.